Hello? Hi, Des. Can you hear me?
All right.
Can you hear me, Des?
All right, Marty. There you go.
It's not. Because they don't. Yeah. I mean. I didn't want
All right, yeah.
All right. She was been there when she came down and were. Those day will come, more people here. All right, I'm gonna grab the meat. Good.
We're good. All right, guys. Just a bit of a delay, but we're about to begin. We're recording, so I'll make this available at a later date. But for now, I present you Marty De Soma.
How you doing? Hey guys, I've been a volunteer here for 27 years, and I developed a passion about insects and spiders, and all these animals that I have on my table are my own personal pets. Over the years, I've gotten a little carried away. I have over 45, 48 tanks. Well, I also have reptiles, amphibians, I have snakes, lizards, and tortoises, and other cockroaches, walking stick insects. I have a chinchilla that's the only furry creature that's in my house that when I do programs, I will save that one to the last. So kids that will freak out on the tarantulas and scorpions, at least they get to pet a furry creature. Because of this passion that I have, my family and friends were a little worried about me. And I had to go to see a doctor, and they wanted to do some testing. And they did blood work and everything else. And yeah, because I had all these bugs in my home. So they wanted to, check out my brain, and they wanted to order a CAT scan. And I told the doctor, so said, I have a little pain here. I have too many felines at home. So there's no use doing the CAT scan. So they ended up doing a general PET scan because he's my kid. I know he got to do this kind of stuff. Yeah, well, it's for pet. I got the results, and what I had to do, I made it into a T-shirt. So I got it here. I'm an insect trapped in I'm an insect trapped in a human body. So I got so carried away with these insects because they have to molt their skin. And I've been doing this for 20 some odd years. Over the years, as you get older, you gained a little weight. So I can't put all these T-shirts on. So I have another T-shirt here that shows my passion. It says I love bugs. And because I'm old school, I mean, people that do programs here, they use PowerPoint. And I'm old school. I don't know how to use computers that well. I'm learning. So basically, I'm going to molt my way through these programs. Starting now, if I could get this stuff off. All right, we're going to talk about insects and spiders. So we're going to do the spiders first. Yeah, I know. All right, we're going to do arachnids. Arachnids are animals that have 8 legs, and they have 2 body parts. They have the cephalothorax, which is the head and the chest in one piece. Then they have a large abdomen. Okay? So we're going to do the smaller spiders that I have. I don't know, you guys, I don't know, see it here. Where is it here? Right down the bottom here. This is a brown recluse spider. And it's fun to do programs here. You only hear a visitor, they would say either themselves or one of their family members or a friend got bitten by a brown recluse spider, and they ended up having some type of infection in their leg. But brown recluse spiders are not found in Connecticut. They're found in the southwestern part of the United States, except for my house in my basement, ground residence. Right here. Basically, the venom is a cytotoxin which kills the tissue. Okay, some spiders have even called neurotoxin affecting the nerve. Okay. And this spider here, it doesn't have heat on it, it only has thickness. And it also has a fiddle head marked to the fiddle on the top of its head and abdomen area. So that's how you know it's a brown recluse spider. Yeah, there's some.
Yeah.
Basically, I repeated two flies. They're also, you can see that one that's in there, I'm putting the lots. The problem, you see, having two focus going, or sometimes they cracked. They died, didn't get mold, and let it go. They don't know it's better. But that's the problem too, is when patients go to their doctor and they see a lesion on their skin, automatically they'll say it's spider bite. It's just the spiders get a bad rap, okay? Because unless you see the spider biting you, you have no way of knowing if it's a spider bite you. But there's all the time doctors are blaming or tick, yeah, but they spider unless they test you and they see if you have white disease or some of those other exotic diseases that are trying to get body up. Here, and primates to the here over here. You guys to see. This is a black, well, this is a brown widow spider. Okay, this one's found in southwestern United States. This one I got from Arizona. In Connecticut, black widow spiders are native. You can find more in isolated areas, wood farms, stone walls, that's a townhouses. And, coming out there. Not all black widow spiders are black. Some are brown. There's a species in Florida that's red. It's a red willow. There's one in Egypt that's white, which is kind of cool. But I always wanted to get a red willow spider. That was but I see it a couple times. By the time I tried to order it, they all sold out. All right, come on in. But your guys are perfect because you're right there. You got to hold the black widow spider. Well, yeah, and so anybody that comes your way, that's the whole black widow spider. Oh, yeah, that sounds good. All right. And again, females live the longest, they live 3 to 4 years. Males only live about 6 to 8 months. In another minute, that the male always gets eaten by the female. When people collect, I mean, my blood sugar, just like the cycle. The female doesn't always kill the male. It's people that are doing the research. They will collect the female, put it in the tank in an enclosure, then they put the male there. Normally, the male will do its thing and then take off, trying to find another female. But if he's stuck in that same position or in the same container for long periods of time, she gets tired of them or becomes food, so she'll end up eating it. But that's the only time the male gets eaten, if he's in the same confined area.
In the wild,
No, in wild, it doesn't happen. So that's where that myth started, that the male is always getting eaten. But in the praying mantis, the female will eat the male, will eat her head, eat its head, because there's a protein in the brain that causes her to produce eggs, so she needs to eat the males. But and the male doesn't bite; it's only the female that bites. And if you look, well, she wants to they tell you, but it's perfect. If you look on the bottom, you might see a little pinkish spot the other left.
There's that thing we have.
Yeah, just a female.
That's inviting one.
Yeah.
They eat every day.
Yeah, Wonder ultimately, he's like he's losing weight off of people.
Oh, yeah.
And the watermelon sweater, theoretically. I'm sorry. Well, technically, the brown little sweater came from Arizona, they're different colors. Yeah, if you look, you've got the black, more of a brownish color. Like I was saying, so there's red, you can red little in Florida, and there's a white one in Egypt. But if you hold it, spiders will all bite, they can threaten. There's a researcher, I believe he's from the University of Mexico, that does a lot of research with these guys or these girls. You can have them walk on your knee. The only time they will bite is if they're deep pressure or they're deep threatens. And they also can give you a dry bite, just like a snake. Snake has venom sometimes. It knows that it cannot eat us because we're too big of a prey. It'll just bite, but it will not release any venom because it's conserving that venom. So that's why they give you a dry bite. But even if you know, I mean, there might be a little drop or a couple of drops of venom in its fangs. That can still be a testament to that. No, you gotta be careful. I wouldn't pick it up. It's the webbing, so it's like any other spider, it spins a web and it catches prey and it wraps things around. And spiders do not eat their prey, they suck the juices. The venom is more like a digestive enzyme. It basically dissolves the animal. Yes. In fact, it will kill it. But the tarantulas, because they're larger creatures, if you feed them a bunch of crickets, there's almost like a milk clot around its lips. I used to have a giant Bermuda tarantula, and that tarantula ate mice. And it kept the mouse in its mouth for about 3 to 5 days until it's basically dissolved the mouth from the inside out. It's not much of a great sense or order in your house. But that time when I was married, I had the choice to get rid of the spider or I had to go, but I got rid of the spider. That was a mistake. Yeah. Wait a minute, you could be volunteering here.
Oh my God.
And this one here is captive bred. Here they try to get, I mean, I'm sorry, this is wild caught. You normally get captive bred. So that preserves the animals that are out in the wild. But these are so abundant and there's no loss of numbers of black widow spiders. They will lay eggs. As a matter of fact, I have another one at home. I end up having 4 of us. But after they start laying eggs, they get a little older, then they pass away. And each egg sac, you can get anywhere from 700 to 1,000 eggs. And one time, as a matter of fact, the first time I got a black widow spider, I was a little nervous. I didn't want to have anything deadly in my home. This was years ago. Here at the zoo, the Postal Service had an insected spider stamps. And in Connecticut, we had the artists that drew those stamps. And for Halloween, we invited the artists here, and the Postal Service came in, and people that collected stamps were able to get the panel stamps with all the insected spiders, and you can get the artist sign it. It's a copy of it at home. I don't know if it's worth anything. The shirts at that time. But he would ask, because I had the tarantulas, they asked about black widow spiders. So I ended up getting a little spider. Then it started laying eggs, and then after I wanted to donate it to the zoo, and I forget who the volunteer coordinator was. This was before Tracy, and they said, "No, we don't want it here. We don't want anything venomous. You keep it at your house." That's okay. And one night I got so nervous, I took the eggs. I couldn't get rid of them. I used to belong to the American Tarantula Society, and there's a classified section where it was almost like a match.com for spiders. If people had a male tarantula or female tarantula, if you want to find a nearby partner to breed these animals. So I sent out a message to see if anybody wanted them, but I was a little nervous that teenagers might get it and whatever. Yeah. So I didn't want to do it. So I ended up flushing it down the toilet. And at that time, at that house, I had a septic system. I had these nightmares that the eggs went into my septic tank and they crawled out into the backyard. Then I had them in my yard. Horrible. Yeah, so again, we'll never sit up there. As a matter of fact, the individual I get him from Arizona, he milks the venom. As a matter of fact, he was on that TV show, Dirty Jobs with Mike Rowe. They basically anesthetize these spiders and scorpions with CO2, carbon dioxide gas, and they put them on a platform and they take these small pipettes, they put them in the fangs, and they do an electrical stimulation of the muscles around the fangs to secrete the venom. And they would take the venom and then sell it to researchers. They're using the venom from black widow spiders because it's a neurotoxin to help people that have chronic pain. I'm sorry? There is an anti-venom. They're very reluctant to use it because if you're a child or an elderly patient or person that has a lot of mental issues, it can be toxic, but the anti-venom could be a little bit more toxic than the venom itself. So they'll give you medications to control your heart rate, your blood pressure, and then let that venom across, concourse the body clear on its own. So they won't use the anti-venom unless it's really necessary.
Like got into a nest.
Well, yeah, but again, unless you really rub body with it, or gets into your shoe and your sock, and put your foot in there, your arm in there, it may bite. Well, other than that, it's not going to affect you in any way. Independently, yeah. They'll just go in there.
So they won't have a nest.
And a female, she'll stay, even if I open up this container, theoretically, she'll stay in the container. She won't venture out. If I have a male, but I wouldn't have to worry about males because males do not bite. Their fangs are so small. I mean, they possibly can, and they won't bite. It's the females that, female species you have to worry about in all species. All right.
I take exception.
No, just kidding. Then again, nowadays, you gotta be careful like that. All right, now the tarantulas. There's over 850 different species of tarantulas. Tarantulas from North and South America are a little bit more docile, so they're a little bit more apt to be held because they have what we call urticating hairs. Their hairs have little barbs on it. And as a matter of fact, you're doing research on this. Every species has a certain number of barbs. So that's how they determine what species a tarantula is. And a lot of times, a lot of these scientific terms for some of these tarantulas, they found that they're incorrect. They've been changing them. And they also do it with DNA too. They're getting DNA out of these animals too to determine what type of species these tarantulas are. Basically, the ones, like I said, North and South America have these urticating hairs. When they feel threatened, they throw the hairs out. Okay, these hairs, again, if they get into your eyes, they get on your skin, urticating these, it causes people to itch. So basically, it gets in your eye, you just really see. Not that you go blind, but your eye gets irritated. So the tarantulas basically could walk away. But tarantulas from Asia and Africa do not have that ability. So they're more apt to bite. So those ones you got to be a little bit more cautious. And I'll show you in a second. What's that? As a matter of fact, I had a patient that went to Costa Rica and they went through a tour, they went through the rainforest, and the tour guide saw a tarantula down on the ground and he went to pick it up. And he asked if anybody wanted to hold it, And I guess this guy's wife said, okay, but kept it on her sleeve. She kept the jacket rolled down and walk on her sleeve. Again, if you don't threaten it, it's not really to bite. In order for these spiders to bite, they have to get on their hind legs. You'll see later the fangs go up and down. The spiders, what they call the New World, the ones that you have here in the United States, the smaller spiders, the fangs go side to side. Okay. So when they catch their prey, they're out like this, they're pinching. But these animals here, the old world spiders, when they catch their prey, they have to grab it and bring it towards their body. And they have to make sure that this animal becomes immobilized, because if it bites the tarantula, it can harm the tarantula. It can kill the tarantula. So that's the only disadvantage of having the fangs go up and down as opposed to side by side. And these tarantulas do not have any lungs. They have what they call book lungs. They're considered to be almost like gills on the bottom of their abdomen. And what will happen is, as the air flows on the bottom of the tarantula's body, you get the oxygen exchange. Book lungs. Yeah. Because they look like pages in the book. I'm sorry?
They're like lungs.
They look like lungs. Just like a gill, too, with the gills in the water. Water flows over the gills, and the carbon dioxide and the oxygen gets transferred. The same thing with this. But like the black widow spider and all the other little garden spiders, they'll have tiny lungs. Air gets in, gets the exchange. Right. Sorry? This one, this is the Mexican redleaf. This is considered the most beautiful tarantula in the world because of its coloration. I had one in the 28 years. Females live longer than males, like almost any other species. Humans, women live longer than males. Same thing with these guys. Females live longer. I had one for 28 years, and I've held it for so many years. I developed a sensitivity to them. As soon as I put it in my hand, within 5 to 10 minutes, you'll see me break out with a rash. It almost looks like I have poison ivy. Yeah, and even though you try to wash it off, if I touch my eye, I'll get what they call pink eye. My eye gets inflamed. When my kids were in daycare, I walked in. I wanted to pick up my children, and they said, "Guy, the doctor, you can't come in because you have pink eye, which is very effective." I said, "No, for my tarantula." Yeah, right. They didn't believe it. And then when my little daughter finally told the teacher, "We have cockroaches in the basement." Don't you expect
DCF come right out?
it's like, okay, and then they would talk to me about it. Your daughter says you have cockroaches. Yeah, don't you exterminate? I said, no, there are pets. Traces. Yeah, I'm surprised DCF didn't call me. Right, I don't know if you guys could see this. Oh, there we go. Try to get a good picture of it. There's. I would pick it up, but I don't want to break out. And you can see how hairy she looks.
Well, I'm from the big
In Africa, but in order to have a very beautiful tarantula, he had a Mexican rich. It's like, okay, in Africa, with the Mexican.
So you find out in Africa?
Really danger. And it's illegal to bring these spiders across the border. And then, yes, other spiders like raccoons, they bring. Yeah, they should, this one be perfect.
Oh, they both.
They're moldy, yeah. Okay, so the question, tell you guys, don't use glass, you can use glass, it usually jumps. Oh. When you notice when visitors come in, you know, recognize the color of their shirt, blouse, whatever. I said, oh, just by the way, these animals are attracted to blue. I said,
That whole, everyone like inched up, and it just pulls out a drink all the rope and jump back.
That's right, it's because it's in these programs, and even the daycare centers and the teachers are more apt to touch,
Yeah.
especially younger ones. I mean,
Yeah.
you guys get old, you know, things, their brains start changing. It just works.
Great.
Here, they're a little apprehensive. How they're interested, I'll try to talk them into it. I said, listen, you know, instead of going to a psychologist and about you like $200-300 to remove your phobia, work it here, you know. Check with your finger, where I'll have them hold their hand out. I said, I'm gonna put it on your hand, but I'm just gonna have the front legs. And you can feel the little hooks.
This tree. Is that I was struggling with the other things.
Right.
My trainer, she took a liquor club and told us to like have a point is getting I start cooking it and after a while I
Especially children that have special needs. Oh my God, the smile on their faces. And then when I did it the first time, I probably learned my lesson. Hold on to their arm because they get so excited. The arm goes down. Yeah. When they're babies, 6 to 7 times a year. Once they reach maturity, it's once a year. And basically, I feed them crickets. I'll feed them like 2 or 3 crickets, 2 or 3 times a week. I mean, I'll throw them in, and if they eat it, fine. If they don't eat it, I'll wait maybe a day. If not, I'll remove it because the crickets can basically kill the tarantula. Yes, they'll bite the skin and they'll basically bleed to death. Yeah, and because these tarantulas are so fat, if you notice, if they drop a certain distance on the hard surface, they'll basically rupture like a water balloon. The only way these spiders move is hydraulically. They change their blood pressure, and by changing their blood pressure, they move their limbs. They only have very small muscles between each leg segment. In order for them to flex it, the muscle will flex, but they have to increase the blood pressure to get the leg come back, extend. Yes. They call it an exoskeleton. They don't really have a spine per se. And when they do molt, they molt their whole body. They'll molt their fangs, their eyes, their reproductive organs. So if by looking at it, the wet molt, you could determine whether it's a male or female. Some spiders you can tell from an outward appearance that's a male. Some males have what we call a tibial spur on the front leg. There's a little hook that comes out, and the male will use that basically to mate with the female. In order for them to mate, they have to get on their hind legs, and he'll get on his hind leg and he'll stick that tibial spur underneath her fangs so she can't bite it. And basically, well, what will happen is the tarantula, the male tarantula will spin a web. It's called a sperm web. They'll secrete this product in the web, and then they'll collect it in a pouch, in the tummy pouch. The front 2 little appendages, there's a little pouch there, and that's when you insert into the female. And that's their sexual activities. This is a number of years ago. We had a Valentine's program, you know, we talked about, those for more adults. And we talked about the sex habits of all the different animals here, and I came in and talked about the sex habits of insects and spiders. I have a book called Sex on 6 Legs. It goes all detailed. Well, you guys are too young. We used to have, what was it called? I can't even remember it now. It wasn't a video, but it was like a school. What was it called? But it was placed on video where you could see the mating habits of a cockroach. Yeah, so they did a shirt. Yeah, see, I have all these creatures at home. Nothing comes over my house, so I mean, but you should say this is going out to public. Okay, I'm sorry. Forget about that. No. All right. Let me do this one here. somebody was saying something about a furry teddy bear type of hamster. I mean, the tarantula. This is called the teddy bear hamster. This is called the curly hair tarantula. She's a little baby. I got her when she was like a quarter of an inch. And again, all these are captive bred. I got her from people that breed these animals. In fact, this Mexican red meat, when I first started, this is going back 20 some odd years ago, they were like $10, $15. Now they're $75, $80 a piece. Yeah. I've been waiting, some of these breeders, they'll have like a Black Friday or Cyber Monday type thing. They'll be like half price. I said, okay. If I can get half price on it, I'll order it. So in fact, this Mexican red meat, there were two of them. So this one, the only one to survive. When they shed their skin, sometimes their shed doesn't heal. It rips their skin and they could bleed to death. So they could die during their shedding if the humidity and temperature is not right. So those are the things that you have to watch out for. When I was talking about the crickets in the tank, it could basically kill a tarantula. If you have a lizard and you keep the cricket in there, it can basically start chewing on your lizard.
My wife had the science teacher had bearded dragons all the time. She had bearded dragons and making sure all those crickets were out.
Yeah, they're either
Yeah, one.
yeah,
She's really injured and died. Really.
yeah, because these lizards are not diurnal. They're awake during the day. Crickets are up all night, so they'll start chewing on anything. Crickets are almost like your chickens. They're carnivores. They'll eat anything and everything.
Did they eat us?
Yeah. If they got a choice, yeah. I mean, well, if we're basically decomposing, okay. Yes. On you. Well, that's definitely, I get 1,000 crickets every month. And this one time, I got it delivered to my office by UPS, and we were eating lunch at the time. And Doc, I just brought in some dessert for you. I was like, okay, popped open the box, and I threw a couple crickets in my mouth. Because they're shipped in a cardboard box, they start chewing the cardboard and they eat potatoes. It was the most awful taste. I didn't want to show them that discuss that type of thing. And my office is near a dental office. There's a dental office next door to me. Looked at my reception. You got to call Dr. Casey. I got a cricket leg stuck between my teeth. He just walked out. But people, well, I didn't bring it in. Well, I used to when I was doing the programs just before COVID. You could buy dry roasted crickets, dry roasted mealworms. There's a company called Hot Licks out of California. You can have a lollipop with crickets or chocolate. You can get ants. You can get all. In fact, just going back maybe about 20 years ago. I'm sorry to spoil your lunch. 20 years ago, the World Health Organization came out with a declaration that people should eat more insects because the conversion of food to protein is more efficient than insects. 80 to 90% of what they eat is converted to protein. When you're talking about cattle or chickens, you're only talking about 20 to 30%. And then you have all that waste to take care of it. If you see now, there's a lot more cricket flour and a little bit more diversification with insects in our foods. There's some restaurants that in up Yukon, I think it was for Trump service, they were serving crickets with some of their meals. But I mean, unless you see it, I mean, you might get a little grossed out. When I was doing these programs, kids would put these red-listed crickets on their mouth for that moment, with a dead cricket. But it was only the exoskeleton because they're baked. And then they're covered with different types of seasoning, like cheddar cheese or bacon flavor or things like that. You can get terrific. You can get scorpions and vinegar candy. It's not that company Hot Licks. They're bad because I love scorpion. Even lobsters. I mean, I love lobsters. I can't put it in the hot water. I mean, I'll freeze them or refrigerate them first and numb them. But freeze. Yeah, well, they make that noise, but well, same thing with cattle. I mean, it was, pigs. I love pigs. I love cow. I was originally pre-veterinarian. I mean, a cow's eyes. I mean, they're so big. I mean, they're beautiful animals. Yeah, and it's just, but I wouldn't have the ability to do this. No.
Thank you. I didn't even like it in the hamburger.
So let me see. No, let me show you this one here. Where we go here. Yeah, well, let's see if I can get a better picture of it. It's kind of hard. There you go. This is called the curly hair tarantula. This is from Central America.
I have a question.
Yeah.
I saw online once, it's they're not, a trend, it's not from like Brazil, I think it's like kind of. Yeah, what's that one called?
I'm sure, but they do have different colors. Well, the ones from India, I mean, they have all these different colors. Yeah, they're beautiful. I mean, if you really want exotic pets and colors, I mean, because there's over, I mean, matter of fact, I think maybe a year or two ago, they discovered a new tarantula. Here is.
I think you should go. I got a cat, you know, for my cat. It's not good. All of them will be low. You know, so you can try. They got.
Yeah, they have them in, and you can see this, they're called spinnerets. Tarantulas do not spin a web like your normal spiders to catch their prey. Normally, they usually hide out underneath a rock or in the log. So when a prey animal comes by, you just basically pounce on it.
Now, that one I would, throw its.
Yeah, it is tarantula from North and South America and that ability. You can see how close this one here. I got about a year ago. This one here would be 4 to 6 inches in body weight.
And they live 20 years, is what I'm saying?
Well, this one here will be about 10 to 15. Each species area, I think, age limit. But the Mexican species don't live the longest.
He's so cute. You know, you switched up. Wow, I'm just
One next one is.
I don't know what happened there, but
that one just 10 minutes.
Yeah, 10 to 15 years.
oh, sorry, you know, my chips magically moved backward and I don't know what happened.
This is called the Chilean rose. This is the most common one people have in the pet trades. It comes from Chile, Central America. How is it near you? So don't. Oh, okay. Where is it? There you go.
There you go.
Did you watch that movie Arachnophobia? Oh no.
I watched it.
It's Halloween. You should have seen it. If you watch it, the end of the movie when they have the credits, they're called spider regulars. These people that own these tarantulas and spiders, you could train a spider to follow you, follow your scent. Okay, so what these people will do is they'll take their palm of their hand to sweat and they'll put it down on the ground. This thing will follow its scent. So spiders can be trained.
I'm just gonna like our regular because they're and they like how fast can they move?
Oh, pretty fast. Yeah.
So if this guy just started like running up your arm, what would you do? Like worst case.
And goes to still, and this, it would come up my arm and go towards the carotid artery because it likes the pulsation of the blood. I'm only kidding.
What about that?
I'm sorry. That's like for a Kodak moment when we used to have people holding them. I would do you could do a selfie on the shoulder, and it would crawl toward the person's neck, and I would just make that remark, you know. That's the highest point. The trunk on top of your head. On my website, there's a picture of me with the tarantula on my face. And this is going back years ago. There was a photographer, they came to the zoo. And he was taking pictures and everything else. He was interested in all these creatures and everything else. And they said, well, some of the keepers said, well, we have a volunteer that's into this stuff. And they called me up to see if I get permission for him to talk to me. I said, okay, no problem. And I told him that I would do this type of work. And he was sort of impressed because I work on people's spines and I have these animals that have an exoskeleton. But he thought it was weird.
So you're like,
Chiropractor, yeah. And he dared me to put it on my face, and he goes, "We'll do a newspaper spread about me." And I thought it was going to be a small thing. This was in 2006. In that local paper, the local thing, it was a full page. I wrote some of my patients, I don't tell that I do this kind of crazy patients. She calls me up and goes, "Ah, you had a tarantula on your face? Why?" And I knew she had, I didn't do acupuncture in there for migraine headaches and stuff like that. And I said, Darlene, it's a new procedure to treat people with migraine headaches.
and she's like, I'm not coming back.
No, that didn't work. Okay. You want to hold it?
No,
I do.
I'm. No, I'm.
You can call the pencil, the little, the segment in the front. And that's fine, and these are, figure there. Again, you do,
Oh, yeah.
How she's something. What? This is your head on the web. Oh, that's not.
The little lady.
Chances to provide it. And she said it's here, like, he sent her out. Like 5.
Probably what years.
you become very, very well.
It's good for. Well, normally I have considered city. A number of years ago, I had someone basic, luckily I'm certified CPR. I'm probably kidding. I can do that in the departments. But it doesn't know you, it's just gonna stay there. So I'm just making like project something.
Are they all ones?
I'm sorry,
Are they all ones?
Yes.
Right.
But instead of talking to you. They don't fly, so don't worry.
Easy.
Well, we can, for
People feet and stop.
your dad,
Yeah.
if you're in time.
Can I get you to the flex? They try to shoot one face. I'm gonna be so proud of you. Usually that's the better in selection, you can fly. Okay. Yeah, whatever.
You think we can do the left to public safety or anything?
I'm like, it's right about the fire.
Yeah, it's not, right. Okay, minutes. Thanks to it. Me too. Yeah, personally.
Okay.
Do you have friends work here?
We do, yeah.
Up in the,
Education.
education office. You know what species?
We have a Mexican red meat. No, sorry. That I'm hoping that we call Cheeto. Uh, we have Brazilian black and the other one I don't remember. But I don't know, got some
Okay. Okay, so not a lot bad. Okay, because you're a ground pest, I just want to give you the legal, because I did this display animals, I mean, I could have, but you can't sell them, you can. Well, the DEP told me, this will go back before they changed the, regulation of exotic pests. Because I had them, they all do these education programs, they had become grandfather, yes, sort of. So far, hopefully the people that I spoke to then will remember me or they're still working here.
Can you write down
No,
your,
no, that's how.
and again, if they rear up on their hind legs, you don't want to go near them. I had one.
That's what we can buy.
That's what they'll buy. I had installed a sunburst, bright orange, beautiful one, but you couldn't, it was more of a display animal as opposed to, an animal that you're, that is old. Even this one too,
So I was gonna say, this was.
yeah, I'm gonna start picking out the rash. This one, but this one doesn't draw the tears. The Mexican red meat, does. Oh, I didn't show you the red flame one.
I won't work with it. My mom's like, you're not allowed to be in range.
Well, they're nearly sold as vitamin babies. They're like a quarter inch, half inch. Then you have to feed them like feed plots. And they go through a multi-process.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
What kind of second?
A Chilean rose.
Chili Amber. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Please, lucky you.
Yeah, I think it's, I didn't show you this one, did I? No, the Mexican red flamed. This one, I think, oops,
From Mexico, what?
red flamed or red flamed. Where is it there? There you go. Trying to get it here.
Well, thanks.
I don't know if anybody online got a question. Yeah, this is beautiful also. But all these from Mexico are endangered. So you're not allowed to bring them in the United States. A number of years ago, there was an individual that went down to Mexico and brought them in, and they basically were confiscated. The Mexican ones, because anyone's from females, 25 to 30 years. Males only about 10 to 12. And if you find, and again, there's a organization called American Transport Society. I don't know if they're still, I mean, this before the internet, they had like a little magazine every month. In the back of the classified section, people looking to a male or female for breeding purposes. And again, once the eggs hatch, is there a monetary fee where they'll give you like on the litter, so to speak, they'll give you like a number of babies of some 700 to 1,000. Yeah, and so 1,000 babies. And you think about that now, $75 piece. It's but in Connecticut, we're not allowed to do that. To sell. This one here, my girlfriend and I had to go to every time I go to a different state, I always check out the pet shops because in certain states there's different rules and regulations. And in New York, it's legal to sell, Petco sells tarantulas in New York. They used to sell them in Connecticut, but they changed the rules a number of years ago. Now they changed the rules with poison dart frogs. Now you're able to buy poison dart frogs
Yeah, we're having,
Yeah.
questions.
There's an exotic, not exotic, well, some of these mom and pop type of pet shops, either they don't know the rules or whatever, they'll sell certain things. I ended up getting a centipede 1 year, an Asian centipede, and it basically moved around quite a bit. It do have venom, but you gotta be careful on that. So any questions on spiders? I don't know if anybody has any questions on there. You know how to do the question things?
No.
Okay. All right. I don't know, there's a Ken here from the back screen. Oh, okay, sorry. They can't hear what I'm in the back screen there or whatever. Oh, okay.
They have questions in the comments.
Yeah, I know that, but I don't know how to answer them. I guess I'm gonna have to type it in or whatever. All right, another creature. Oh, we got a spider. So
Trying, she can, speak if it's something to find. Oh, that, young people. And you can get.
yeah, you can ask me as this. Okay. Remember the old days? I was able to take this stuff.
You're already in it, right here.
What's that?
This is,
That's the problem.
that's the comments right there.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right, now we're gonna do the other arachnids or the scorpions. All right, there's 1,500 species of scorpions. Only 10 species have a little bit more medical significance with their venom. If the scorpion will sting an individual. Normally, small children and older individuals will have a serious problem. But there are scorpions that are smaller in Africa and Asia that can be very deadly. There's like a scorpion called the death stalker. I mean, you get stung, it basically potentially could cause a fatal reaction. So you don't want to play around with those. This one here is called an Arizona hairy scorpion. If you look really closely on its body, it's got little tiny hairs. Let's see, which one did I get here? I'll show you the difference between males and females. Okay, yeah, this is male. They're called pectines. They're fins on the bottom of the scorpion's body. And basically they're sensory organs. It could sense if there's prey around or if it's another male or female around. They'll look for the pheromones. So they'll be attracted to that. And scorpions, just like tarantulas too, are more nocturnal. They'll move around mostly at night. And this Arizona hairy scorpion, the neat thing about this, the venom can cross the blood-brain barrier in a human. And there are not many drugs that can do that. And what they're doing is researching this venom, and they're adding a chemotherapy drug or radioactive material. The venom is attracted to glioblastomas, tumors of the brain. So they could direct these poisons directly to the brain tumors. Arizona hairy scorpion.
That's the one that has some people.
Yeah, well, that's what they're doing the most research on. And again, I'm getting him from a collector in Arizona. He basically milks the venom out of its tail, the venom sac,
Right.
in a little tiny pipette, and basically sells the venom to researchers. They also use it for pain control because it's a neurotoxin.
Right.
To see if they could get a drug that'll help control pain in humans. So a lot of these animals can be very helpful. Even the walking no, I'm sorry, not the walking stick, but the millipede in Central America, they've been using it also for pain control because there's a toxin that released millipede.
I didn't think they were They have that?
No, it's not that, but it's a toxin they release through your skin. Yeah,
If somebody swallowed them, they got.
I'm sorry.
If somebody swallowed. Right.
Well, you swallow it or they can swab it.
Right.
Or, I mean, which,
No, I mean, the toxins there, predator tries to.
yeah, because it's on its skin. They'll secrete it on their skin or the back end type thing. I used to have the African millipedes. I think we had them years ago here.
Forget we have right now, we do.
Do we have millipedes here?
Do.
Oh, okay.
Ship them.
Sorry. And I think the African ones, I don't know if you guys have those. They're hard to come by. There's now, it's called the CITES. There's an embargo. They're endangered because they've been used in the pet trades. So they're no longer brought to the United States.
It's African ones.
Yeah, African ones, yeah. Same thing with the emperor scorpions. Oh, these were beautiful scorpions. These are ones that they used a fear factor. There were 8 to 10 inches. They're giant roaches, scorpions. They were completely black, and they're more apt to pinch with the pinchers. They would not really sting, so that's why they were able to bury people in
A little more dangerous than what they.
yeah, what's the name of the drug? Just said
Sure, guy.
Fear Factor. Thank you. That's what happened to my brain as you get older. Yeah, and Fear Factor. Another thing too, if you watch that show, they would have cockroaches in the blender, and you could see it going into the juices and being blended. Nobody said anything. I mean, that was one thing too with PETA. I mean, protection of animals. Nobody cares about dogs.
Yeah.
These animals have a nervous system. You know, we'll talk about cockroaches. You could buy a kit to get these miniature cameras and these wires. You could make your own roach robot, and you just control it with a joystick and make it go to wherever direction you want it to go.
You use them in. Don't give away your punchline, but you use them. They use them to CPL people.
Like earthquakes and things like that. And they can go to defined areas. But now, average individuals, you could buy a kit and make your own cockroach robot with these tiny cameras. You know, I mean, you want to watch your kids, what they're doing in the bedroom or stuff like that. You know, stick them in there. It's amazing. But yeah, you're not really killing these cockroach. You're just putting electrical impulses. There's a lot of research that people that do neurophysiology, researching nerves. These animals have the largest nervous system compared to their body size. They do a lot of research using their nervous system. This is cockroaches, yeah. So don't kill the cockroach. Well, one of these days, they save your life. You can see the venom sac will be this thing. Oh, I think that will show you they're called the pectines. They're called pectines. On the near the pectorals, the chest. And this thing, I mean, if you get stung, you're not going to die, but it's going to be like 10 times the yeast thing.
Yeah.
You look at the bottom, you can see like little combs. The larger the comb, it's a male. The smaller combs are female. That's why you totally well understand.
Martin, if it's not really a name, it's starting back and eating. But you talk about the allergies and that.
Okay, because the venom is species specific. If you're allergic to honeybees, you're allergic to their bee venom. But if you get stung by yellow jackets, you can see the little fins on the bottom there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can get the larger pectine. And this is easy. Another interesting thing, I'll show you guys. Sorry, didn't show you guys. That's the Arizona hairy scorpion. Let me get it in front here. There you go.
Do they hide under rocks?
Yeah, they hide under rocks. And again, they're more nocturnal. I get in there. And the neat thing about these guys, and let us hear it.
Very contrasting.
They glow in the dark, while they're also out of light.
Ultraviolet light.
Conference.
Violet.
Hey, you guys can see it, we'll up here and see it. It's kind of neat, it's completely dark, it'll be like a green sheen.
Most of the people are like, it's bioluminescent.
Yeah. And that's how people find it at night, they'll go out with a black light.
Yeah, we have black lighting.
Black.
I know.
Yeah, you want to try it, it's probably there. Yeah, it's good.
I'm gonna go there, it's just regardless.
Let's see. Get started. Leave us at bioluminescent. Well, there's this. You turn up right.
Oh,
Well, you can also bring that over there. Oh. Marty, you want me to bring this over? Here. Very smart. There you go. Yeah, that'd be much easier. Here we go. Hi, guys. Here we go. Going for a walk. Pretty cool. It's a black light.
Yeah.
Bioluminescence, right?
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
nobody knows exactly the rationale that they glow in the dark.
Yeah, we have that with some of the, the ones in the glass that we show kids and stuff. And I know there's theories on it.
One of the things is that at noon, the UV rays are reflected off the moon down into the ground, so that's why they can see each other. But nobody knows exactly why they have this ability. And these guys will live. I'm sorry. Yeah, these guys will live anywhere from 5 to 10 years.
What do they eat? Just insects and shit?
Yeah, crickets,
Yeah.
basically. Everything here eats crickets. And
Be endangered.
yeah, well, no, they're cricket farms. But there is a problem. There was a virus that was attacking crickets because these crickets have been inbred for long periods of time. Now they're susceptible to certain diseases. A lot of the cricket farms have closed because of that. There's a new, instead of using house crickets as they're called, now they're banded crickets. It's a different species that you're able to get to feed your reptiles. Yeah, and as a matter of fact, I had the emperor scorpion, and they kept reproducing, and because they kept in the same container, they're inbred for a number of generations. After a while, the offspring become weaker and weaker, and then they start dying off. Same thing happened with my cockroaches, because you kept in the same environment, and the breedings among their own family type thing. Then there's a trouble. Oh, I forgot to show you the molted skin of a tarantula. There you guys go. Just the molted skin. And that's why too, sometimes you wake up in the morning, you look into your enclosure in the tank, you see 2 spiders. And it comes out almost like a soldier coming out of a tank. They'll come right out. And when they come out, their skin is very soft. It takes a number of hours for it to harden. So if you have crickets in there at the same time that it molts, the crickets can kill the tarantula. And if you look in the fangs are about the size of a cat,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
those are the fangs. That's where the venom comes out. And you smile before they do it. And they shed their internal organs, their reproductive organs. And it's like believe you be there. Very bad. Yeah, the stomach, reproductive, the female mates, and then it sheds. It has to mate again in order to have offspring. It'll lose all its.
And baby.
It'll lose the male product. So the eggs will not become fertilized. With that. And if you keep the abdomen wet, and it's a wet mount, and you put it underneath a microscope, you can see the internal organs. And there's a girl in she's in Wisconsin. Well, she sells franchises and stuff. You can send her the boat and she'll determine whether you have a male or female. She has an ability.
How long do you have that with the raise?
It depends on how often I handle it, but my house on my fireplace mantelpiece, I have all the shedded skins. And when I have repairmen that come over the house, they'll just stop in the tracks. Well, out of the 8 years, she went down the basement halfway once. I have now my snake is 8.5 feet, 9 feet. She saw because I'll feed my snakes in we'll call it an indifferent tank, a bear tank. And when it goes into the bear tank, it knows it's feeding time. So it stays near the top of the screen. And she saw the snake moving around there. It's gonna get out, and then she went upstairs. I have my washer and dryer down there. I have another spare refrigerator in a freezer. But anytime I need to get something, I'm the only one that has to go down there. I said, you don't even see the animals, just go down the staircase, take a right, there's a refrigerator, you take a left. No, she didn't, whatever. She won't go down.
You see somebody trying to rob it.
Who didn't know how to snake. And he let it play, and this, I guess. Anyway, she went to the house and when he was taking a shower, the gold.
That moves.
Enough that you take the shower to the stuff.
And then I buy my rats in bulk, my mice and rats, and they're frozen. And I keep them in my freezer. Well, I have a separate freezer, refrigerator that'll keep them in it. And what I'll do is I'll vacuum pack them because they'll last longer. They won't get frostbite, or not frostbite, the freezer burn. Thank you. Yeah. So that's how I say.
These actually, they're getting lost.
No, they can eat them. They can eat them. Frozen. But the only
Here we do, kind of, all our same here, all frozen.
it's more humane because if you put a live rat or a mouse in a tank, the mouse becomes defensive or the rat becomes defensive because it can't run away.
Right.
It'll get into attack mode. It could basically bite the snake or even kill the snake. So basically, if you have a snake, you're feeding live prey, you have to knock out the mouse a little bit, stun them somehow.
It wasn't fun.
No, it's not, but
It's one thing, like,
but the only problem too is they won't eat them frozen. You have to warm them up.
Yeah.
But that's the problem. Well, in the beginning, I didn't realize that. I used to put them in the microwave.
Oh, you did.
No, I wanted to get it heated, right away. And then what happened was I answered the phone and I forgot it was in the microwave. And I had that rotating table. It exploded.
Yeah.
All the guts. It was like what getting. I only had that one microwave. That was hard to clean. No. You don't put anything in the microwave. I like torturing people. No, you put them in warm water. Just like
I'm doing this, getting by it and getting here inexpensively and they're frozen. Is the freezer going back and sick?
Yeah,
It's been there for a while and
it could deteriorate the meat somewhat. It's just like, if you have a steak or a hamburger,
it takes too long.
it's gonna affect the taste. It's gonna affect the nutritional amount. That's why I always use the a food saver. And I bought the food saver when I used to have these walking sticks. They would only eat bramble plants, wild blackberry, raspberry plants. And my father had these raspberry, blackberry plants, and I would basically trim them in the fall and put them in the bags and vacuum seal them. And the leaves were as fresh as if you would just get them out. So that was a lot better, and they last a lot longer. So
that way, especially if you got by ways.
yeah, if you're buying them in bulk, yeah.
Very.
Yeah, it is,
That's worse than big.
it has oh yeah, a large rat. I think it was like $10, $12.
Yeah.
I used to go down to the reptile expo in New York because of COVID, they shut that down. And I used to buy them at the pet shop. It was too expensive. Then I went online and I found the gentleman that was selling it at the reptile expo. And I emailed him. I said, "Are you still doing it?" He goes, "Yeah." But he goes, he doesn't ship because it's expensive to ship with the dry ice and everything else. Can you come to New York? And it was right on the other side of the George Washington Bridge. I don't like driving to New York. And I said, and he goes, "Where do you live?" I said, "Waterbury." He goes, "How close are you to Danbury?" I said, "Not that far." And he would follow one of his friends at this karaoke bar, and he would go there. He goes, "I could meet you there on a Friday or Saturday night." So we're out there in the parking lot, and he's got these white rats. I think they're like 50 or 75 in the bag. It looks like white powder, right in the cornfield, maybe drunk here, and he's weighing him, on the scale to make sure it was so much per pound type of. Right? Yeah, and they're a lot cheaper. I think the jumbo rats, I think they were like $1.75. I think I was paying for.
I'll get it here, like the living five marks, fly here for any of us that have pets. We get the frozen, again, I only agree to do frozen everything, we can't do it, the person I agree. But, so safety kids, if anybody has pets, you can get them. I agree with them.
Yeah. To be honest, I don't even.
Yeah.
I don't like feeding my snakes, even the rats and the mice. I mean, it's kind of gross. The kids love the snake. If the kids didn't love the snakes, I'm gonna have the snake. But I have a.
Heart related, it's on everyone's, yeah.
Well, they do have rat and mice sausages for people. They'll take the meat. Yeah, and they grind it up and they put it in a casing. So, but the snake has to be used to eating a sausage. Yeah, they're even more expensive. Oh yeah, yeah. I mean that's but why bother having a snake? I mean, but it's a lot easier. It's not like when you have a cat or dog, you put it in the bowl and have them eat it. But you have to dangle it. I have like a 3-foot hemostat that I have my beekeeping gloves on because I got bitten once with my snake, but they were going through a molting process. When snakes molt, they're very apprehensive because it's like they have a bad sunburn and their eye gets very cloudy, so they cannot see. So they're more apt to bite when they are going through the molting process. And even move my hand fast enough, I could see the mouth gap open and it got my finger, but it was almost like a paper cut. I mean, I've been bitten by dogs and cats when I worked at the animal hospital, but it just gave me the EBGBs. Now I got bitten, it's not that bad, but I always put gloves on. Even when I go pick it up, I pick it out, I put gloves on. I just don't, you can't tell if they're sleeping because their eyes are always open. Yeah. Well, so, yeah, the saliva, the salivary gland is the same thing as the venom sac for venomous snakes. And it could make you sick like the hot nose. Do you have a hot nose snake?
Not anymore.
Oh, no? Okay.
Yeah.
The venom, or not, the saliva hot nose can make you, you get,
It's been years.
yeah. Oh, it's been years that you haven't had one?
It's that hot with years.
Oh, that was, oh, okay.
And then also, we gotta be, because there is, that's all, they do that, is mild, so it's gonna be a reaction. But he was sick, you like, feel like he's off, it's very cute, and that was a very mellow state, of because there's that possibility. So we got a reaction, you got on forward, you're attacked.
All right, yeah, what's that? Roaches? Yeah, well, let's do this real quick here. I used to have really pads instead of, you'll just go to the difference between these animals.
Yes,
Yeah, I'm gonna show my work. These are the millipedes.
Mark, do you order these? You buy them online or you have to make it for you?
No, for adult size, usually for kids, there's a lot. It's hard at Amazon. I mean,
Amazing.
I'll just go on all the time and because I've gotten a little heavier over the years, so I want to get something bigger.
Here's the medicine section.
I'm worried.
And my brother, right, he wanted a red one, I'm gonna get carry any of that, to get rid of him. And so I don't know whether we missing. We didn't know how to do it. It wasn't here, it happened, it's from some person, I guess typed in this and that, and
Probably the license,
yeah.
License, yeah.
I think it was.
All right, but the difference is centipedes and millipedes, millie means 1,000, so they have like 1,000 legs. What's it possible they have 1,000 legs? They basically have 4 legs per body segment. So if you want to sit there and count the little body segments, multiply by 4, then you'll know that you have the number of legs. But in the front, I think the first, 5th, or 7th segment, that's where it has its reproductive organs.
By the head?
By the head, yeah. So they'll have the male reproductive organs that uses to insert into the female. And millipedes will eat vegetation, decaying fruits and vegetables, leaves.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. And then centipedes will have what they call 100 legs, but they don't have 100 legs either. They have 1 pair of legs per segment. And centipedes are carnivores. They'll eat other bugs. They'll even eat lizards, small birds.
Are they venomous?
They have venom. Yeah, they have venom.
They're venomous?
That's centipedes. Yeah, centipede.
Yeah.
And millipedes will excrete a toxin. The African millipede will secrete this toxin. It's almost like in the olden days when people smoke, they have like a nicotine stain on their fingers.
Yeah.
There'll be a yellow stain and it stinks. And it's a cyanide, it's almost like a cyanide gas. You kids don't know about phone booths. If you have, I think it's 200 or 300 millipedes in a phone booth and they excrete this toxin, it would kill a human in the there you go. And the monkeys, it's not just the average hydrogen cyanide that they produce. The monkeys in South America would torment these millipedes to secrete this toxin, and they wipe it on their fur, and it's a insect repellent. Yeah, because the smell basically will repair, and they use them as tools. Yeah, so instead of using, off or Jeeps or whatever, they'll get millipede. And then they'll store there. So it's kind of neat, research that stuff. All right, now the insects. It's getting easier now.
You're gonna get killed.
Really good.
Evolving. Are evolving.
I'm molting. I'm shedding it.
We're done.
Should have these that are new.
You do? Yeah.
No, the t-shirts. These from Roger Williams. Well, it's another easy agent.
Yeah, because there might be friends, I'm coming for you to keep out there, right?
Well,
Yes, pretty, well, pretty.
no, that's the bunsu for Halloween, Valentine's Day. You can have a cockroach named after your ex or significant other too. I mean, if they're into. You look at it. All right. All right. These are the pepper roaches. Yeah. Well, they were originally pepper roaches, but when I got these, because these guys here are some exotic generation of these. I received them from the Science Center, the Children's Science Center in West Hartford. And they told me at the time they were cave roaches. So that's why we always named them cave roaches.
Right.
I got it from them and they supposedly are known. But now these are called pepper roaches. And you have the adult on one side. Let's see if I can get them in here. There we go. And the larvae is on the other side. It's a large larvae. When they get full grown, they molt and they'll molt into the wings. they will not fly, but they will glide, you know, if they're,
We do have them.
yeah, we're having here.
Yeah, the lighter color on the edge.
That's the way. These are the ways.
The Martin people, usually that are here, who are getting answered,
Yeah.
that's the need. That's common, right?
Well,
I mean, why?
they were used to be called pepper roaches too, but it went back and forth between cave roaches and, yeah, I saw the article or something that they put.
The right here.
No, that's the larva, it's one of the molds. And then the shit, just like a butterfly. It's more of a meat if you want to hold it. A big sleep, I look at your shirt. You can see the little barbs. Well, why? It uses wings. Look. What's the code word? Shitting?
Yeah, I can go, y'all. It's fast.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's the word I use for cockroaches?
You've done that like people pretending, like the group of people like, oh. Yeah.
We'll put little numbers down.
They don't fly, right?
Look like all the paper. And if you don't, when they on the back, they'll look at me. And you see, there's over 5,000 different types of cockroaches. Only 10 species will infest your home. These are so exotic, even if they get loose in your home, they will not infest.
Well, the German.
The German, the American cockroach, and these guys will not climb glass, so you don't, or plastic, so they will not climb out. Their legs will not adhere to the plastic.
Do they have sticky pads on their feet with Madagascar?
Yeah, the Madagascar one, you would have to put a layer of that, usually Vaseline around the edge.
See, either that will be or the edge there, so that's what they should, if you don't know.
Yeah.
But now, so that, you have people up here, but there's a reason, so that and climb up, so that kids. They have to that way, and people to get out, they're like, wait, you know.
Yeah, even if they get loose in the house.
So that's the Madagascar hissing cockroach. So there, you see how they were able to see it? So that way they can escape.
It's a barrier, so they will not go. Well,
Yeah. You can't find them. I didn't know that.
Well, I didn't tell my mom when I got her next. I was like, even if they get out of the front of the. So she just. I ended up getting.
it's not good. Everybody, yeah, especially the babies, they can come out. You just gotta make sure you put the Vaseline. Yeah, there's a, yeah. So people will go ask me, they ever get loose? I have to check my shoes every morning. I have to check my pants. The only problem is because they see that I'll have the paper towel tubes or toilet paper tubes in it. They like tight confined areas. And I would tell them that they get into my bedroom and they get between the sheets and the fitted bathrooms. And I would tell them, you know, every once in a while you turn in bed, you hear a crunch. But the worst part is because they eat all kinds of garbage, they'll leave stains on your sheets and they're not washable. I said, my neighbor thought I had a medical issue because all my sheets were stained, you know. They said, oh, that's gross. I said, I'm not even kidding. But there's only 10 species that will get loose in the home. What are they? They're basically decaying matter. Yeah. You know, dead animal. They're basically the garbage pickers of the world. They recycle anything that's decaying, and they turn it into what?
People have visceral reaction. They're from the upper coast to the Madagascar, the nature decided. And again, we have animals like that. We have garbage and we're sort of destroyed animals soil. And people that had that sister, they look a lot. How big like the ones you'll find in their university environment, right? They're a little wider, I think it's they're more sparse, I think. Yeah.
And they has,
Good
they,
guys, we're saying good guys they are, they're important, yeah,
they're important for the environment, yeah.
yeah, it's really important.
And they basically will take the air through their mouth and put it through the little spiracles. They have little holes on the side, almost like a whistle. And that's where they make that this thing. So
Yes, thank you. What I have found fascinating about them in that they learn, like, if you pick them up first time, you know, start kissing, pick up the second time, like, oh, you're not gonna eat dinner again. It's like, they learn that,
it's all your pheromone. Your body will that you're not gonna have it. Yeah.
right? This person will not eat these, like, you learn, yeah, that's normal.
Or when they're not handled as much. When I pulled them out of infection, we're hissing like crazy. Now, and I want to show kids that they won't have. I bring them back home again, put them in the tank, they'll start hissing. Because they don't want to, they want to go out and visit people.
Yeah.
They don't want to go back in the tank.
That's it.
And these are the males, the males have a larger, horns basically on the shell, their heads on the bottom here. And if you look at the antennae of male, thicker than the female. And the female on the shield here, that's the horn. Well, basically, they're sensing their environment. The various. Male, and basically they fight for colostrum for females and more areas. So they'll ward off all the males and get turned little hair about females in that area. And then night kind of cool in the basement when you're missing is you're fighting the thing. And so yeah, they're very careful. And then the female is kind of very split. And there's no one done the patient today, and you went to one to the next year. Is she there? Well, not at the same time, they're very good. Yeah,
Horns, and then.
well, it's a little bit bigger, but basically the same. The systemic.
That's significant. That would be exact. I think you're beautiful, I do. They share, right?
They look like milk chocolate. It's always really hardy.
Either.
See, guys, this is what happens when you're here. How to connect line here or smell. No. Well, they move around. It's warmer, like 80, 90 degrees, and they basically will breathe when it's hot, when it's hotter. 80, 90 degrees, they get it to the moon and have babies and things like that. When it's warmer. And again, they basically, you know, I feed them lettuce, apples, carrots. I'm sorry, they're not this big. There's more exotic, yeah, they're smaller. And they basically, the ones that you find in your home, you turn on the light, they just scatter. Or when you hear, they hear you coming in, they'll just scatter. That's like.
I didn't have patience, Adam.
Well, Marty, while this was was probably like in your city market, there's something that they're eating anything.
They're eating it.
You taste in the
You want paper? Yep. They basically, if they're really hungry, they can eat the cuticles of your nails. Yeah. Well, again, that's why they have a problem with mice and rats. I mean, they keep reproducing. And you got multiple, you know, a large number of individuals or people in the confined area. There's always going to be stuff. There's always going to be some food. Yeah.
And they would reproduce so much.
Yeah. That's impossible. And a lot of them become immune to the poisons, and it's the same thing like rats and things like that. They'll get immune on that. So, but now you can use cornmeal and baking soda. Yeah, baking soda, because rodents are not able to belch or pass gas. So they'll basically explode and then they'll die. It's a little bit more natural instead of using toxins like warfarin, blood thinners and things like that. And then another animal will eat something that,
Yeah.
so,
More than that.
yeah, so either that or either trap them or you give them this cornmeal, trap the half and half. That'll basically kill the mice and the rats. But these here are the walking sticks. We have walking sticks from Vietnam, the Vietnamese walking stick. And again, there's a difference between males and females. The females, I believe, have little horns on them, and they have a longer antennae than the males. These species that I have are from Thailand and from Madagascar. I got the Madagascar pigweed, but this one's from Thailand. When these guys live, this was a dead species. This one only lives 8 to 10 months, and they'll lay eggs, and they're only females. There are no males. They reproduce by a process called parthenogenesis, which means that the female will clone the eggs. They'll have the same genetic information as the female. Well, that's another thing with cockroaches. Their oils and their skin, that's one of the main problems for people like myself. Having allergies, you can have asthmatic attacks, and that's what they test you when you go for an allergy evaluation, allergy shots. As a matter of fact, I went to an allergist and they test me. I have allergies to pollen and tree and grass pollens, and I was highly allergic to cockroaches. Well, you're highly allergic to cockroaches. I said, yeah, I know. Every time I work with them, I'm in there in my house. And she looked at me. She goes, "What do you mean they're in the house?" I said, "Yeah, I made them my pets." I thought she was going to call the psych department. But I said, "No, I have exotic cockroaches." That's why too. Even my left eye is itchy a little bit. And you can see the wings on this. When it's alive, it's red, and it'll flash that red marking. They'll tell other animals, stay away from me and make it toxic. Well, you guys know the difference between venom and poison.
The venom, because they're closer, they go with it, and then
Right. And normally they have 6 legs, but the legs they pull off when they're young individuals, if the legs pull off, they can regenerate it. Yeah, and
now we have walking sticks in Connecticut. Thinking over that they do that, like, all right, I see one more. And they look like.
They went up, back in the middle.
Yeah, they're like turtle.
yes, the birds are sleeping and they're things that
You know what, when you come in, yeah, you're walking sticks, they're not natural here. You all walk. We found a little more Mary, the garden in here, in our neighborhood. She so one great time. And picnic, I was like,
Yeah.
"No, that's, the first time I looked at it, well, my little.
Yeah, you wouldn't.
Yeah.
You want that? Maybe.
I think I found one, because I was. No, yeah. No. I screamed.
Why is it stick movie?
Yeah. The stick just ran away. Like I was. I'm like, I'm not joking. I'm like, I am, but I'm not. I don't think they ever. So no,
this is a dead Taiwanese. I'm sorry? I don't really move that fast. Yeah. And the thing was, when I was able to do it, if I put it in a child's shirt, they go to the highest point, they'll just climb up the shirt, go up the head, go up to the ear. And I usually tell children, I said, just plug your nose, make sure it doesn't go up your nose. Come out the other side. Or I'll tell the kid, in the ear, it'll go in one ear, come out the other. It's a great way to removing your ear, a great way to remove your earwax.
what do they eat?
Leaves. Okay. Well, basically, I feed mine romaine lettuce. Again, do you guys do romaine lettuce?
I'm not sure we got into that.
Yeah. Basically, romaine lettuce, or do we eat wild bramble like blueberry, raspberry. I had a species that ate only privet, which are those bushes. The people who call them the hedges. Those small leafy type of bushes. And again, there was one in front of my office, and every time the guys, the landscapers would be trimming them, I said, can you save me a bunch of them? What for? For my walking sticks. And that's why I bought my food saver. And my parents saw the food saver on the counter. They thought I had 4 little kids at the time. Oh, you're saving it for cheeses and things like that. I said, no, for my bugs. And then when I was doing the rats, I wouldn't touch the machine. I would basically in charge of putting the rats in the bag, and I hold it on the machine, and I would have either my father or my mother hit the button, or then I would sterilize the whole thing, with bleach and everything else. It's meat. It's like chicken and whatever. Hot dogs. I think these were probably better tasting than hot dogs. Alright. And this one here, this one, well, it was go away. This is called a tapeworm walking stick.
He's got me.
Yeah, these should fly.
Gary, me something, yeah, nickname that Gary Fly or.
I'll make sure you never heard that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, these could fly. And they will secrete a odor, just like decomposing leaves. And that's all, and I will tell people, when smell my hands, smell my finger, type thing. And these species only live 3 to 4 months, but they keep reproducing like crazy. And again, there's only females. They fly? Yeah, they fly. I up to the yeah, this thing. And it's on dead, and when I saw the bottom page, it's all keep there in here.
And you look around the world, guys, too, there's some that you walk and leave, there's some that.
In some countries like England, you can have that. Well, this particular species, people are working with to get it approved so they can have it. That's right. You can have the Indian walking sticks. That originally has been called. I know that means some. Fortunately, I know. I can't be wrong. Yeah.
Before they were the natives here, and then they found a report, that's why they test them out. Now, I accidentally introduced species. They can.
Well, Connecticut, it's very unlikely, because that's when I called the state to let them know I had these creatures.
Right.
They said, yeah, there's no issue. I don't think it is. They won't survive. But technically you do need a nose, permit for that, and they have to be in the closure, and basically you have to take your droppings, you have to use it and burn it, you can't just throw it in the garbage. Because
You guys can see why I was like, you can take a problem now, but beautiful, the lantern, why. Yeah, long hair, you're something, yeah.
Oh.
You'll have to be. You see, because there's a warming. I haven't had a problem, right, with you, but I'm trying to studio.
All right, anybody have any questions? All right, now we'll do my final finale. Yeah, I did. Well, there's too many young people here. I also have my boxers. That's it. No, yeah, let's see my boxers. Bug off. Okay. That's the end of my program. I don't know how to turn you guys off.
You guys.
Yeah. Chuck.
Yeah.
Is it yours? Oh, I thought that was you.
You said you have some pets yeah.
Legal village fire. Yeah, well, then I guess we just.
Right. You have inspired the cutest, and it's cute.
They asked me to get to the chat, but it's right there, so
Okay.
I don't see any pets. Oh, that's fair.
You missed my final finale.
Ah. Yes, so it says, we have lanternflies on my first block street in Milford Center. Hard to get killed. Go to Deep website to see what to look for if they're laying eggs. Where?
You know something.
A question saying, I don't understand. Yeah.
We have lanternflies, okay, one block, okay, hard to kill.
Yeah, I've seen them.
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, any invasive species, you want to find a way to destroy them. Is there any other questions or?
Someone asked, what did you show them in the pail? What
In the tail?
Show them something in a pail.
No, no, I didn't have a pail. Okay.
Well, I went to the beach. When, well.
Oh, will be.
That's great, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Okay.
And you're welcome, my dear. You're welcome.
You got it.
Well, I didn't hear Halloween. Oh, no, that's right. I'm sorry. I'm here Halloween, but I usually have people coming home every day. But,
Is everybody on there anymore?
what's Halloween? What are we doing the Halloween?
So, yeah, I'm gonna talk to you about that. Are we done?
Is it Saturday? We're done. I go, bye.
I don't wanna be on the recording. Get me out. You know, I don't like being on.
Is it Saturday or Sunday?